Well, I'm joined now by Ethiopia's ambassador to the United Kingdom, His Excellency Berhanu Kebede. Thank you very much indeed for coming in. You must be delighted with the expected voter turnout this year. Estimates suggest 95% of people, certainly they've been registered to vote. What do you think has made so many people come out to vote?
People are very much
register, at least.
People are very much interested in the democratic process. They have seen change through the democratic process. They could gain more in terms of changing their livelihood. So people are registering in a big way. It's almost 94 or 95% of the eligible voters have registered.
You think they're just coming to vote to support your party that has dominated Ethiopian politics? Or do you think they're actually looking for a way to get rid of it?
The ruling party has a good track record. The country economy has been growing at the rate of 10% in the last 11 years. And the livelihood of the people have changed. The country has achieved the Millennium Development Goals. The country is in the right track. And the country has become an anchor of peace and stability in a volatile region. And it's completely and responsibly discharging its responsibility in the continent of Africa, in the sub-region, and that part and parcel of the international community.
How has it managed to achieve such growth? Because according to figures that we're seeing, the World Bank, for instance, says economic growth has averaged at 10.8% per year, which is twice the regional average.
Yes, because we have a good strategy, a good policy. We have made the best use of our resources. We have the people, we have the land. And agriculture was a priority. We invested a lot in agriculture, and the agriculture sector productivity has increased 3 times. And now we are embarking on industrialization, and we have a clear vision how to industrialize the country. We start with agro-processing industries. So we have created in the last 4 years 3.8 million jobs in small and medium enterprises.
Right. Well, that's on the economic front.
Yes.
What about on the political level? I mean, what level of freedom do the people actually enjoy? Because we understand that there's a lot of human rights questions that are being raised in Ethiopia. Members of the opposition Blue Party, for example, have accused the government of arresting opposition leaders and attempting to muzzle the opposition. How would you respond to that?
You know, look, the way we have conducted the democratic dispensation during before the election, we have created a democratic platform. We have provided 30 million birr for the opposition for the campaigning. And we have given 600 hours of television, print media, and electronic media for the opposition to campaign. And they are free to campaign anywhere in Ethiopia.
Yeah, but there are 57 registered political opposition groups in Ethiopia, but only 1 opposition representative in parliament. Critics say that suggests that the opposition are allowed very little wiggle room in Ethiopia.
The ruling party has a historical responsibility. It's a country in transition to create a democratic platform so that a strong and responsible opposition is created. It has done its part. It's up to the opposition to organize itself, to come up with a strategy and policy, share its vision to its constituency, and get the support of the people. They haven't done that. In fact, some of them campaign within the diaspora. The diaspora doesn't vote. You have to build your constituency within the country.
Right. Okay, well, let's just get your sense of the broader political climate across the continent. A well-respected Africa analyst suggested that the Africa Spring may have begun, looking at what's happened in Nigeria, what's happening in Burundi, and that these should be a wake-up call for sit-tight parties and presidents across Africa. What's your response to that? Is that how you read it?
We had already our spring. More than, you know, this is a country that has come out from 30 years of interstate and intrastate conflict. And we have found the formula on how to live together. Ethiopia is a country of 80 national nationalities. Our constitution caters this multi-ethnic, multi-religious society. And the formula is working very well.
Okay, stay with us, Ambassador. of course, Ethiopia's ambassador to the United Kingdom, His Excellency Berhanu Kebede, is still with me. You saw that report. Ethiopia frequently leading the way. For example, it achieved its Millennium Development Goals for child mortality and water distribution. It's showing progress in primary education, HIV/AIDS and malaria. Why do you think, you saw that report, that so many of your people are trying to escape from Ethiopia?
They are a victim of the rosy picture that traffickers are drawing. A better life across the sea.
And it's got nothing to do with the fact that their lives in Ethiopia are nothing to write home about.
Well, there might be some elements that we should address. I'm coming back to that. Some people who are living are spending about 90,000 birr or 100,000 birr to cross the ocean or to go to neighboring countries. But with that money, they can change for good their livelihood in Ethiopia.
Nevertheless, the government's responsibility to a large extent is to better their lives,
yes,
and many of those people are living on less than $5 a day.
We have created a conducive environment for each young people to prosper and improve his livelihood. That's how I told you that we have created in the last 3 years 3.8 million jobs. And of course, we have taken also to address the problem, short and medium and long-term measures. Short-term is to bring back home our compatriots, our citizens from Saudi Arabia, for example. We brought back 150,000. From Yemen, with the cooperation of Sudan and Egypt, we are bringing home. So we are working very hard to bring them back and improve their livelihood. And second, the long-term approach is to create the awareness. Across the sea, it's not greener, as people might think.
Well, in fairness to you, that's not a problem that's limited to just Ethiopia. A lot of countries across Africa and in other parts of the world, a lot of the citizens want to make that crossing. But the reason a lot of them want to do that...
the number is compared to any country. It's very small.
But I mean, the reason they do that is because they feel that either there is political repression at home...
It's lack of awareness, not political repression.
Well, there is political repression. There's political repression in many countries across the world, which is why a lot of refugees are escaping.
In our case, present Ethiopia does not exercise political pressure.
In your case, though, the population of those who want to leave are overwhelmingly young, and you say you're doing all these things for young people. Why aren't they taking advantage of it? Why do they want to leave?
This is of the wrong picture that they have of the life abroad.
Right.
And think we have to fight this. We have to create the necessary awareness. We have created a national committee chaired by the Deputy Prime Minister, and which involves all stakeholders, religious leaders, civic society.
Right. Okay, let's talk about something else, which is agriculture. That has been the foundation of the Ethiopian economy. It accounts for half of gross domestic product and 80% of total employment. But there is a move towards sort of industrialization and other things, which essentially suggests that Ethiopia is transiting to a more cosmopolitan job market. Should it not focus on what it's experienced which is agriculture?
We're not going to forget agriculture, but we have to diversify our economy. We have to add value on our agricultural products rather than exporting it raw as a we are following the right strategy of economic development. Our textile, leather, for which we have abundant resources.
Okay. Your Excellency Berhanu Kebede, Ethiopia's ambassador to the United Kingdom, we want to thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Thank you very much. Thank you.